Whoever tries to interfere with us or threaten our country should know that Russia's response will be immediate and lead to such consequences that have never been experienced in history.
He is one of the most trending men in the world as at the moment, the president of Russia, Putin. The man who has made the world start to understand the European Union and NATO. He is the man whose actions and invasion of Ukraine has a large potential of triggering the Third World War. Who is Putin? In the makers of the world history, the CESTV rushes all the way to Russia to bring you the history of President Putin. Stay tuned and have it raw and real. President Putin. He is formerly known as Vladimirovich Putin and was born in 1952 October 7th in Leningrad, Russia, currently called the St. Petersburg, Russia. He was the youngest of the three children in his family, and the father was Spirodinfesh Putin and the mother Maria Ivanovna. Putin's family had the darkest scars of the Second World War, and his family was greatly associated with the military. Perhaps this is the association that could shape his military career and political career later. For example, his father was a personal cook to Joseph Stalin, one of the renowned politicians in the history of Russia. Her mother was just a factory worker, but the father was a conscript of the Soviet Union serving in the submarine fleets in the 1930s. His father also served in the destructive battalion of NKVD and the Russian Regular Army. His maternal grandmother was killed by German occupiers of Tiva region in 1941, and the uncle disappeared on the Eastern Front during the Second World War. Putin began school in September 1st, 1960 at Paskov Lane, school number 193 near his home. At the age of 12, the young Putin began practicing sambo and judo. He also studied Germany at St. Petersburg High School 281. Young Putin studied law at Leningrad State University, presently called St. Petersburg State University. This was from 1970 up to 1975 when he graduated. His thesis was on the most favored nations trading principles in international law. In 1970, he became a member of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union until it collapsed in 1991. In the world of writing and authorship, Putin was the co-author of the Russian Constitution and the corrupt schemes persecuted in France. After university in 1975, Putin joined the KGB, the main security agents of the USSR, up to 1991. He resigned in 1991 after the collapse of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union because of suspicion aroused regarding his royalty during demonstrations in Dresden. In 1983, Putin married Rumidira and had 2 daughters. However, sources indicate that Putin has another extra daughter from extramarital relations. In 2014, he divorced his first wife, and today Putin has 2 grandsons. Concerning his entry into the military, in 1998 up to 1999, he served as the Deputy Chief of President for Regions. In 1998 again, he was appointed the Director of the Federal Security Service, that is FSB, the successor of the KGB, and the primary security and intelligence of the Russian Federation. In 9th October 1999, he was appointed the first Deputy Prime Minister of the Russian Federation. The same day, he was appointed the acting Prime Minister of the Russian Federation by President Yeltsin. The same day, Putin agreed to run for the Russian presidency under the motivation and influence of the then President Yeltsin. Such appointments could mark his entry into Russia's political realm. In the 31st of December 1999 up to 2001, he was acting the president when the heiring President Yeltsin resigned. His first decree that Putin put on the 31st of December 1999, the same day he took over as the acting president, was to sign a decree which ensured that outgoing presidents was never to face any corrupt charges. This served to protect President Yeltsin and his family in the Matterbeck's bribery case. Within this period of acting as the president, several cases were dropped down because of this decree. For example, in August 2002, the criminal investigation case number 18-238278/95, which also involved Putin himself, was dropped. Also, in December 2008, another case involving the prosecutor general was also dropped. In elections held in March 2000, Putin won the presidency. And between 2000 and 2004, Putin served his first formal presidency in the Federation of Russia. However, one major thing stands out during this presidency. In 2003, the major achievement was when the Republic of Georgia became part of Russia. Between 2004 and 2008, President Putin served as the second president of Russia, and in 2008, the constitution could not allow him to fight the third time as the president of Russia. Accordingly, on the 8th of May 2008, President Putin was appointed the Prime Minister of Russia, a position he served between 2008 and 2012. In 2012, President Putin was at the presidential race again. This time round, he won with 16% of the total votes, 61% of the total votes cast, and therefore becoming the president of Russia between 2012 to 2018, the third time he was serving as the president in this country. However, it should be noted that this presidential election was marred with irregularities and intimidations as reported by the international media and observed in Russia. It is during this third term presidency that the Russia-Ukraine conflict began, and allegations of Russia hacking into the USA electoral system in 2016 came into the limelight. In 2018 again, President Putin won elections, and this gave him a chance to serve for the fourth time as the president of Russia, the term which is expected to come to an end in the year 2024. However, ahead of the end of this term, in July 2020, President Putin amended the constitution to allow him run for 2 more terms after 2024. Perhaps this is going to make him one of the longest serving presidents in Europe and Western world. In December 2020 again, President Putin signed into appeal, giving the ex-presidents a lifetime prosecutorial immunity, a move that is explained to be protecting him and his allies against any form of charges that may be leveled against them once he leaves the office. As the world stands right now, President Putin is one of the people in the world who are trending. A man who has invaded Ukraine, a man whose actions are likely to trigger the Third World War. Is this going to happen? Why is President Putin attacking Ukraine? What is the source of this problem? And what is the role of the EU and NATO in this particular conflict? The CSTV will come back with this story the soonest. Stay tuned and have it true and real.